Hello traders, welcome to yet another weekly Forex Forecast for August 7th through to August the 11th. My name is Gabriel and this is Trade Forex with Gabe. As always, we would like to start by checking out the economic outlook for the week by looking at the economic calendar. And the week is a bit free from high impact news from the start of the week, but yet as we run down the week, we'll begin to see the fireworks, starting with the CPI data we expect from the US. This will be coming out on Thursday, as we see here, and it has the potential to set up some huge fireworks of volatility, so to say, across US pairs. So traders, you may want to plan your trade really around this particular news. Next will be GDP across GDP data, which we expect on Friday for GBP, that's Great Britain pound, and then we have core PPI and PPI month-in-month data on Friday, also affecting the United States dollar. Aside this economic outlook, pretty much we will be the setup is still almost same for last week, except for this week we will be seeing the euro gaining more strength as we look on the economic calendar. So this is the currency strength meter for the week. We still have Swiss franc coming out strongest on the list, and followed by euro, and then USD, and next to it is Great Britain pound. So we can see that GBP losing some steam, but yet we have some interesting setup for it. But my preferred pairs will still be Swiss franc and the euro, then followed by the United States dollar. I will be looking more to pair them up and trade them across some of the weakest pair, except I will be staying away from JPY for the week because it's beginning to lose strength, lose more, it's beginning to gain strength, so to say. Anyway, let's look at, let it make all sense when we compare it with the data from the previous week. So what we have here is the comparison between the forward-looking data for the week, comparing it to that of last week. So if you see here, we have the data from last week, July 31st through to August the 4th. Swiss franc scoring a strength score for last week on 3.3. This week, it just lost 0.1. Well, I use the word degree. Okay, and then followed by euro gained some strength from last week, which was scoring 0.4. This week we see it going up the scale to 1.2. The USD from last week 0.4, now scoring 1.2, and then we see GBP losing some strength from 1.3 down to 0.7. And amongst the weakest pairs, we see Australian dollar still losing more strength from negative 1.9 to negative 2.4. So this is really nice to pair it up with some of the strongest pairs here. And then we have New Zealand dollar maintaining its strength at 1.7. Canadian dollar still within the region of bearish to neutral and bullish to neutral, so I'm not really considering it for this week, so to say. So if I'm to doing this calculation, the biggest positive to negative net change will be Swiss franc, euro, GBP and USD, and then Australian dollar to the negative side, New Zealand to the negative side, and JPY to the negative side. But looking up the setups, the technical setup across pairs for JPY, this is not coming out top favorite for me. So I will be looking to pair these ones, AUD, NZD, and pairing them up with the strongest pairs we can see here. So let's look at the best pairs to trade for the week. For me, I'll be looking to trade Swiss franc pairs, GBP, USD, and Euro and Swiss franc. Pairing them up with AUD, have some interesting setup, and NZD Swiss franc, nice setup. I'll be looking to trade pound sterling to the upside against New Zealand dollar, and also trading pound sterling to the upside against Australian dollar. USD pairs, I'm looking to go short before this I would like to come out of this trade if I'm going into it before Thursday, when the volatility will set in based on those data. I would like to trade Australian dollar, United States dollar to the downside, and New Zealand dollar, US dollar to the downside. And last but not the least, Euro pair. I really like the setups on Euro pairs, Euro NZD to the upside, and Euro Australian dollar to the upside. So let's look at how this all plays out, or how they set up on the charts, and we'll be starting with Australian dollar, Swiss franc, Australian dollar, Swiss franc. All right, so what we have here, let's start from the bigger picture so you can see where we began to derive this from. Okay, so on the daily chart, you will see we're still on the to the downside. We had this breakout of pennant structure, and we still have some more room to the downside to fulfill the profit target. Okay, now if we take it to the weekly chart, you see where our next target will be, which is 0.5640 level, and the next target for me will be 0.5609 level. So I will expect to see price make some correction. This trade was from last week. If you traded with us last week, so Australian dollar, Swiss franc to the downside, we had that nice correction as expected. It failed to break the last high and then reached out. Look at how as soon as it got to a profit target, we started seeing this consolidation. So this week we could see some more correction to the upside. We can predict exactly where we can expect those corrections to be by using the Fibonacci retracement tool. So anything around the 50 to 61.8 Fib level will be a nice place to give us that nice risk to reward ratio, and we can begin to look for further sell to the downside towards the 0.5640. So let's take out the last week's profit targets. This one, which was 0.5726, we already smashed that. So into the week, let's look for this correction, and any break, if we begin to see price break structure to the downside, then this will give us a nice entry point towards our next profit targets. And if we break that level, then we target the next one also. So this is nice trades from last week, and we'll be looking to continuing on that pathway, but ensure you wait for those retracement. So that's Australian dollar, Swiss franc, and next on the list will be NZD Swiss franc. So let's get it out from here. NZD Swiss franc, there you are. And again, this was a trade from last week. We failed by just a few pips to achieve our target last week, but at market open, we see how this level has already been taken out. So I will expect to see some correction again, and I'm still expecting more sell-off towards the 0.5248 level. Now, interestingly, we could see that this is looking more like a rectangle pattern. Okay, let me put this so we can see it. Who knows, if price is able to respect this level, and we begin to see a rejection at this level, this is perfect rectangle pattern. So it wouldn't it's textbook projection to see that price from this level will correct or have a more sell-off towards the 0.5248 level. But who knows, price could decide to break this level, reject again, but I don't expect this to go above our worst case scenario level, which is the 0.5408 level. So anything within here, why not? We could project from here towards the worst case scenario and plan our trade with all of this retracement level in mind before that downturn. So having taken out our last week targets, well, if you took profit from this level, fine, that could have given you some good smiles to the bank. But then this level has been violated, so we will start looking for the next profit target, which is towards the 0.5248. So last week we traded Swiss franc, Japanese yen, but this week Japanese yen is not looking good to trade. So we're sticking with Australian dollar, Swiss franc, and New Zealand Swiss franc. So those will be my trades for the week on Swiss franc pairs. Looking out to the next will be Great Britain pounds on NZD and AUD. So let's start with Australian dollar GBP. So this was another fantastic trade from last week. If you traded with us last week, you will see this. We had a big stretch to our worst case scenario. It broke from the 50 Fibonacci level to the 61.8 Fibonacci level, made a kiss into our level. This was the zone we were looking out for, that price shouldn't break this last low. Yes, this was respected, and I think I got out of this trade somewhere around the 23.6 level. Yeah, because at that level, I've already accumulated some trades based on my trading strategy and got out with very nice profit. Well, price was still able to take out ultimate profit target at 1.9387 level. So into the week, this was already taken out. So let's take out this profit target from last week. And into this week, we will be looking for price to give us that new high. So taking out this, we've been able to achieve that level, and this will be our new retracement levels. We have 50, 38.2, we already achieved that. We have 50, and we have 61.8 fib level. So any break, once price begins to break structures to the upside again, we will expect look for this target, which is 1.9550 level. Okay, so last week was nice trade for GBP pairs, and the next one is GBPNZD. Again, we achieved our goal for last week. So anyone that traded this setup from last week, I believe you're happy. So what did we have last week? So we said this is textbook higher highs, higher lows, and all we were looking for last week was for price to take out the last high, which was here, also which corresponded to this level. So we had too high, price was unable to break. We started the week by having a major sell-off, but yet we saw price bounce back, rallied back to give us the new high. So we see that consolidation, I think, from Wednesday all through to Friday. So again, the market for GBPNZD has really been choppy, so any correction will still be in place. We already have a new higher low. Price was unable to break the last low, so any correction to the downside is still in place, but ultimately we're looking for price to retest the upper boundary of this channel. So, and that will correspond to the 2.1044 level. Okay, so this is a nice trade. If you're looking to find more price action on this trade, you could go down to lower time frame and start looking for price breaking out those structures, okay, to give us a good or better entry into the next profit target, which is 2.1044 level. So next will be Euro pairs, and we'll be looking at Euro AUD and Euro NZD. So this is another fantastic setup for me. Looking at it from the bigger time frame, you will see price still has not been able to take out the last high. I believe this will be done this week. And looking at the setup we have here, we see the price breakout from this channel. We already had that momentum. Look at that massive rally we had here, smashing out through the upper boundary of this channel. We made a retest, and I'm expecting price to take out this last high. Once this is done, I have two targets. First target will be this 1.6889, and the next target will be towards the 1.6974, which is the profit target for the breakout from this channel pattern. Okay, so this is a nice trade for me. Euro especially making a leap from, if you recall, I think it was last week it was 0.3 strength score, and this week we see it gaining more momentum to 1.3. So I really like pairing it off with the Australian dollar. So this is fantastic trade for me. We'll see how that plays out, but don't forget to always put in. And there's no really big news we expect for the week to affect the euro. Next pair will be Euro NZD. So let's look for it. Euro NZD. Euro NZD. Euro NZD. Have I gone past it? Let me see. There you are. All right. So Euro NZD again. Did we trade this last week? I think we've been monitoring this trade. I can't recall again. Euro, no, we didn't trade this trade. We focused on GBPNZD. Well, they have this nice correlation, so you can see that we still did almost similar same thing on Euro NZD. So failed to create a new high. If you take this and check this, let me take you to D1. So look at that. So our next high to break is the 1.8080 level. Okay, so into the week, once we're able to smash past this level, which I believe we will, the next target will be the 1.8216 level. So this is Euro NZD. Perfect setup for me. But of course, always plan your trades around your risk management, okay? What risk your entry strategy allows for. And we will now go to the last pairs, which is the USD pairs. And I'll start with Australian dollar, United States dollar. So this is another interesting setup for me. But let me take you from the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, you see we're having something like a double top pattern, okay? And we seem to see a nice breakout from the neckline, okay? If you understand this technical pattern, so this is fantastic textbook double top pattern. So we see that momentum break from the neckline, and if you go down to H4, you could see the retracement into to retest the neckline again. Well, sometimes these things fail, but the good thing is we already have the double top. So any retracement, I can expect retracements to stop at this neckline, but why not? It can still break. So that's why I have the fib level already stretched out for me. So I could expect further retracement into the 50 level or the 61.8 level, and I'll begin to sell Australian dollar against USD towards the 0.6456 level. That will give me a better risk to reward ratio. Okay, so you can plan your trade around these particular levels I've given. So Australian dollar, USD, fantastic trade before the CPI data on Thursday, and I think PPI data, which will come out on Friday. Okay, so nice setup again. Then lastly, but not the least, is NZD USD. NZD USD will be the last pair we're looking at for today. So NZD USD, yet again, having some form of correlation with Australian dollar USD. So you can see that we're having almost similar pattern. So again, I'm expecting some correction into 50 or 61.8. But once I see a break, once I begin to see that break, let me take you down to H1 so you can see it. All right, so we're beginning to see that bullish correction. So once we start seeing a bearish breakout from this retracement, that would be a good place, fantastic place to enter your trade. First target is 0.6048 level, and ultimately I'll be looking for that massive sell-off towards 0.59924 level. Okay, so this week, highest volatility I expect will be on US pairs. Aside that, all other pairs, I believe, will follow the technical structures we have already examined on the trade. Okay, until next week, this is wishing you all the best in your trades for the week. I hope you'll be profitable, follow the risk management principles and rules, don't blow up your account. Okay, hope to see you again next week. So bye-bye.